Today, compact cars may be indignantly looking at the roads on aphids, overpowering crossovers, with which one may have a pleasant overkill. How can a Citroen C3 Picasso become a garniture with a family car and Oniak Yogo variant Varto win respect? Citroen Vychikuva Svoga compact van until the end of the 2000s. Technically, the car is based on the old platform and new motors. The PF1 platform at the time of the model's appearance already celebrated its 10th anniversary, and the wheelbase of 2,540 mm was the same as that of the compact Peugeot 207. For the great C3, VK at 7-13 row V is not too terrible for the bodies of these cars. Get by with small defects in typical areas, on the edges of the arches, thresholds, the front part of the hood and the frames of the frontal slope. Yes, obviously, and specific nettle sh. For example, it is necessary to look at the hood not only at the ring, but also in the middle. Here the farba can also be seen and climbed, especially in the front part. The front doors are covered with important ones and they open on a wide arc, through which they often sag. At the early stages, you can remember by stealing the doors uphill and down, and in the neglected slopes, the doors simply wipe the farba of the thresholds at the openings to the metal. There are moldings on the doors themselves, under which corrosion can sometimes develop. Thresholds here are not covered with plastic and are protected only by regular anti-gravity, so the piscostrum inevitably exposes metal and starts ruining processes, especially in the area behind the front wheels. Well, the 5 doors are traditionally seen near the chrome molding and in the niche of the license plate, which, like the hood, was already sing-songly refurbished. The PF1 platform brought with it simple and well-known suspension schemes, McPherson struts in front and a beam in the back. Zalzo here is rich in Weisplan with other models on this platform seat on the cost of the availability of non-original spare parts. Galma, how can you guess? Drive on a stake and just finish it. The mechanisms on both axles are single piston with a pliable caliper. The diameter of the front discs is 266 or 283 mm, and the discs of 249 mm are installed in the rear. Vitradniks, like in PDVSTS, inexpensive. The manual Gulmo is not a drum here, but tightens the rear calipers, so you can turn over your practice and turn the ropes. It's more complicated for the steering controls. Here the electric pilot with a motor on the rail is victorious, but the mechanism of the pilot is not for sale. That way, you can regularly buy more than a rail with a support at the collection, and the price lists can be sung on the top of the head of the university by sounding high. The reliability of the slats does not call out a narcissist, but it's important to respect the repair of the repair work. Then the sorting of the mechanical part is cheap and simple, that knocks, a lot less problem, lower unevenness of Susila on Serm, Rivki that's smiking. In the first years, C3 Picasso was only on the wrist, and the robot, which appeared later, still did not take off the great popularity. Therefore, the majority of cars on the secondary market are equipped with a series of superior 5-speed mechanics BE4. The stitches are required for olive oil and water leaks. Oil seals are sometimes fed. When buying, you can get along with the standard reverbing of the noise on the Pitamachi, as well as the reverbing of the robot and synchronizers and the remocation mechanism on the go. The only alternative to the mechanics of the 6-speed robot EGS6. Cedo SIPS KV unit. The linkage drive here is not a simple electric one, like on cheap robotic boxes, but a hydraulic one, which allows it to efficiently switch over. Structurally, the system is quite Nadiana, but sensitive to the rich mines, the purity of the olives and the hydraulic drive, the need to change the skin 10 to 15,000 kilometers, the temperature is different, the manner of water is too thin. Before that, it is expensive to replace and repair components for a double-mass flywheel and the hydraulic drive itself with a pump and a hydraulic accumulator. Zigalim, this robot works better and smarter than primitive designs with electrical connections, but the flooring is more expensive and morning repairs. But the biggest problem in the C3 Picasso is not to build a robot, but the engines of the Prince family. There are 2 options. 1.4-liter EP3 at 95 ks and 1.6-liter EP6 at 115 ks. Good news, perhaps, only in the fact that the offensive stench is atmospheric. More bad news. The motors became primal, the unstable resource of the weak lancet timing belt, the scalability to the point of olive oil through the ring, which they kick in, the temperature is high, the piston is not far away. Latiniam Direct and bringing the motor to a suitable camp for sale. The arrival of a car with Tsim DV Gunami VCOM close to 10th of May, but as a minimum, we have learned, Varda Zozdaleg Divish should had weaknesses and lay pennies on relay diagnostics.